Hello my dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter and the name of the chapter is, as you can see, chapter number 14, it is probability. Page number 501, students in science, Savitasa. Is that clear? In class 10 we have already discussed probability, so I'll just revise it for you one more time. Now, the first thing that we need to understand is the sample space. Sample space denoted by capital S. It is a set means a collection of well-defined distinct objects, is a set of all possible outcomes or results. So this is the meaning of a sample space. Example, suppose when you roll a dice or a die, what are the possible numbers which you can expect? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is called your sample space. We will not get any other number apart from these 6 numbers. Is that clear? Similarly, when you toss a coin, so you get 2 outcomes that are the maximum, that are the all possible outcomes, either head or a tail. So that is called a sample space. Next, you need to understand the meaning of the word event. Event is denoted by capital A, B, C, D and so on. It depends on the number of events. Is that clear? This is also a set which contains all the favorable outcomes. All the favorable outcomes or results. Like suppose when you roll a dice, the outcomes, all possible numbers are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I want only even numbers, then what are your even numbers? What are the numbers which are favorable to me? 2, 4, 6. So that comes under this particular event. Okay, so that is it. Next, we need to know N. N means the cardinal number. Cardinal number means the number of elements in a particular set. That is called a cardinal number. So once we understand sample space, event and a cardinal number, we are in a position to define probability. Suppose we take an event A, then the probability of A will be equal to favorable cases divided by total number of all possible outcomes. That means favorable cases. I need to find the probability of A, so it's going to be N of A, all the number of elements which are favorable to A, and total number of possible cases means N divided by S. So probability of A will be N of A divided by N of S, where N stands for cardinal number. A is the event. We just write down the number of elements which are favorable to A divided by the total outcome. So this is how you define probability. In a similar way, if there is another event B, then probability of B is going to be N of B divided by N of S. To make this definition clear, let me give you one example. Suppose when you roll a dice, what are your outcomes? S, sample space, all possible outcomes or results. So there is an equal chance of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the numbers which you can get when you roll a dice. So probability means chance. Is that clear? So let us say I want only even numbers. So an event A is even number. So what numbers are favorable to me? That means what numbers do I require? Even number means what? 2, 4 and 6. So probability of A means when I roll a dice, what is the chance that I will get an even number? So what is the formula for probability of A? It was N of A, that means the favorable cases divided by total number of all possible outcomes. means divided by n of s. So what is n of a? Number of elements which are favorable to you, even number 1, 2, 3. 3 divided by n of s. What is the total outcome? 6. So the probability of getting an even number is 1 by 2. That is half the chance. Is that clear? That is how you define a probability. This was already defined in class 10. So we are continuing from where we had left. Is that clear? So once again, my dear students, please pay attention, because probability is not that difficult. It's a scoring topic. It's just that we have to deal with it type-wise, step by step. So this was the first explanation of probability. The formula does not change. Anytime, look at the question, the moment they say find the probability, what should come to your mind? Favorable divided by total outcome. Is that clear? Okay. Moving on. Now, as I have already told you, there aren't many formulas. So instead of giving you the formulas, let us discuss type-wise, so that when we discuss type-wise, you exactly know which formula you are to use. So type 1 will be success and failure. Success and failure. Now suppose I give you a task. So there are basically two outcomes. Either you succeed or you fail, isn't it? Similarly, given an event, so there is a maximum chance that the event will occur or it will not occur. Is that clear? So success and failure means, suppose there is an event A, then P of A means the probability that event A will occur. The probability that event A will occur, then capital P A dash will be the probability that the event A will not occur or not happen. So this is success and this is failure. Is that clear? So there's a very important formula. So overall probability will always be 1. So probability of A, that means success, plus probability of A dash will always be equal to 1. So success plus failure is always equal to 1. So if I know the probability of success, I can easily find the probability of failure. So probability of A dash is going to be 1 minus probability of A. So this is the formula that is very important, and this formula will be a major part of type 1. So I'll just explain this particular formula. Suppose you are given a chance to hit a target. You get 5 shots. Is that clear? You get 5 shots. Out of 5 shots, you hit the target 3 times. 3 times. Is that clear? So what is the probability that you are going to hit the target? What is the formula? Favorable divided by total. How many times did you hit the target? 3 times. So probability that you are going to hit the target is 3 divided by how many chances did you get? 5. So 3 by 5. Is that clear? So you can easily make out that out of 5 times, if you hit 3 times, then obviously how many times did you miss? That is 2, isn't it? So probability of A dash is going to be 2 by 5. Is that clear? So this is concept wise. You can directly find the formula of failure also. 1 minus probability of success, that is equal to 1 minus 3 by 5, and that is also equal to 5 1 is 5 minus 3 is 2 by 5. So this is how you calculate the probability of success and failure. Is that clear? Okay. Next thing which you need to know is independent events. Independent means 2 events A and B are independent if the probability of one does not depend on the probability of the other. Is that clear? That means they are totally different. So in such a case, whenever they are independent events, probability of A and B together A and B, this is written as probability of A intersection B will be probability of A into probability of B. These are for independent events when the probability of one does not affect the probability of the other. Similarly, probability of A or B, this is written as probability of A union B will be equal to probability of A plus probability of B. In this case, this formula, in this case, A and B has to be mutually exclusive also. That I'm going to teach you. For the time being, just keep in mind, you are going to use these two formulas whenever A and B are independent events, and for the second one, it must be mutually exclusive also. Mutually exclusive means there is nothing common between A and B. Like for example, suppose when you roll a dice, you know that the outcome is 1 to 6. If an event A contains only even number, so even number means what? 2, 4, 6. And if an event B contains odd numbers, that means 1, 3 and 5, then A intersection B, is there anything common? There's nothing common, yes or no? So if there's nothing common, then we say that these are mutually exclusive and probability of A union B equal to probability A plus probability of B. So as you can see, if they happen together, means intersection, if there either A happens or B happens, then we say it is union. Is that clear? Okay. Now let us start with a few questions. Question number 1, I'll just read out the question. Question number 1. Okay, this had come in the year 2018. Yes, 2018. P speaks truth, 90, in 70% of the cases and Q in 80% of the cases. In what percent are, number 1, they likely to agree in stating the same fact, and number 2, contradict each other. Okay, so there are two persons, so P. So the probability that P is gonna speak the truth is 70%. This is given 70%. So 70 divided by 100, that is equal to what? 7 by 10. So out of 10 chances, there is 7 chances that P is gonna speak truth. So what is the probability that P is gonna lie? It's 1 minus probability of P. So 1 minus 7 by 10. So that is equal to 10 minus 7 is 3 by 10. You can do it directly. This is concept wise. If he gets 10 chances and out of 10, if he speaks truth 7 times, then obviously he's gonna lie 3 times. So either you do concept wise or the formula which I've already given it to you. Next, the probability that Q speaks truth is 80%. That means 80 divided by 100. So 0 and 0 gets cancelled. We can cancel further, but let us keep it as it is so that we can find out the LCM easily. So 8 by 10. So what does this mean? If Q gets 10 chances, then out of 10 chances, there is 8 chance that Q is going to speak the truth. So Q is going to lie how many times? 2 times. So it's going to be 1 minus probability of Q is equal to 1 minus 8 by 10, so equal to 2 by 10. So you've got the probability of success, failure, success and failure. So that's why I have categorized it in terms of types so that it's going to be easy for you. So you got all the values, yes or no? So the first question is, what is the probability that they are likely to agree? Likely to agree. Likely to agree means either both will speak truth or both are gonna lie. Is that clear? So it's gonna be either probability that likely to agree means probability that P will speak truth and Q also speaks truth, or probability that P lies and Q lies. Isn't it? Isn't this the meaning of likely to agree? Either both will speak truth or both are gonna lie. So Probability of P and Q both are gonna speak the truth. Probability of P dash and Q dash are both gonna lie. So what does and mean? Intersection or plus probability of P dash intersection Q dash. And what is the formula of this? Probability of P, because these are independent events, into probability of Q plus probability of P dash into probability of Q dash. So put the value. What is probability of P? 7 by 10 into probability of Q is 8 by 10 plus probability of P dash is 3 by 10 into probability of Q dash is going to be 2 by 10. So as you can see, I did not cancel. That was for a reason. 7 is 56 divided by 100 plus 6 divided by 100. So you get 62 divided by 100. If you convert this into percentage, it's going to be 62%. That means there is a 62% chance that both of them are likely to agree. Likely to agree means we don't know whether both speak the truth or both speak or both lie. Is that clear? So this is what the question wanted us to find. Okay. Next, contradict. Next is contradict. Contradict means disagree. Disagree. So we have two cases. Number one, P speaks the truth and disagrees means Q will lie. Or P lies and Q speaks the truth. These are the only two possible cases which you can come across. Contradict means disagree. Is that clear? So disagree means if one speaks truth, the other will lie, but we don't know who lies. So either P or Q. So now you know the formula. Probability of P intersection Q dash or means plus probability of P dash intersection Q. So since they are independent events, probability of P into probability of Q dash plus probability of P dash into probability of Q. Put the value. What is probability of P? 7 by 10 into probability of Q dash, it's 2 by 10 plus probability of P dash is 3 by 10 into probability of Q is 8 by 10. So what do you get? 7 2s are 14 by 100 plus 8 3s are 24 by 100. So total what do you get? 38 by 100 equal to 38%. Chances is there that they are going to contradict each other. Is that clear? So this is type 1, my dear students. So once again, before I move on to the next question, as I've already told you, there aren't many formulas. There are a few things which you need to understand. So the first type which we are discussing right now is probability of success and failure. Like if in this case, if suppose I give you one question to do. So either you can do it or you can't. So success and failure. So out of 5 times, if you try the question 5 times, okay, if you are possible, if you can do the problem only once, okay, if I give you 5 questions and out of 5 questions you can do only one, then what is the probability that you will be able to do the question? That is 1 by 5. So you could do only one question. So how many questions you could not do? 4. So probability of failure, that means the probability that you cannot do the problem is 4 by 5. So success plus failure is always equal to 1. So if I know the probability of success, then I can easily find the probability of failure by subtracting it to 1. Why 1? Because suppose I give you to hit a target. Alright, I give you 100 chances to hit a particular target using a bow and arrow. So what's the maximum number of times you can hit? 100, not more than that, isn't it? So you can hit the target maximum is 100 times, and how many chances did you get? 100. So 100 divided by 100 is 1. So overall probability can never be more than 1. So I hope the concept is clear. Yes. So moving on to the next question, question number 2. Okay, this is also an ISC question. Now we are going to do directly. I just read out the question, then we can just write down the probabilities. This is also an ISC question. Most probably it's 17 or 18. So 3 persons shoot to hit a target. So there are 3 people. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. If A hits the target 4 times in 5 tries, that means what is the probability that A hits the target 4 times in 5 tries? That means he's getting 5 chances. Out of that, he is hitting it 4 times. So this is given. Next, B hits 3 times in 4 tries. So what is the probability that B is going to hit the target? B is getting 4 chance. Out of 4 chance, he is hitting the target 3 times. So 3 by 4. In a similar fashion, what is the probability that the third person, that is C, is going to hit the target? It has been said that C hits 2 times in 3 tries. So he is getting 3 chances. Out of that, he hits it 2 times. So only this is given. So these are the probabilities of success, isn't it? You can do it concept-wise. If I hit the target, I get to hit the target 5 times. And out of 5 times, if I can hit it 4 times, then obviously how many times will I miss? Oh, that is 1, isn't it? So probability that A will not hit the target, that means A will miss the target, is 1 minus probability of A. Isn't this the formula which I taught you? So 1 minus 4 by 5, that is equal to 1 by 5. Next, probability that B will not hit the target. Out of 4 times, if he hits 3 times, so obviously how many times will he miss? 1 minus 3 by 4, that is equal to 1 by 4. And in a similar fashion, probability of C dash is going to be 1 minus probability of C. So 1 minus 2 by 3 is 1 by 3. So you got the probability of all the 3 persons: success, failure, success, failure, success, failure. Now next thing which we need to know is, what does AND mean and what does OR mean? Is that clear? AND means they will happen together, and OR means either this or that. Okay. Now number 1, exactly 2 persons hit the target. Exactly 2 persons hit the target. Exactly 2 persons hit the target. That's what I am supposed to find. So how many people are there? There are 3 persons. They are hitting it together. So 2 persons hit the target. Exactly 2 persons mean what? The one of them has to miss. But is it given which one? No. So it could either be A, or it could be B, or it could be C. Is that clear? So exactly 2 persons hit the target means, suppose A and B hits the target, 2 persons, so the third person has to miss. Or A and C hits the target, then who's going to miss? B has to miss. Or B and C hits the target, then who has to miss? A. Because there are 3 persons, so obviously one has to miss. Is that clear? So either C misses, or B misses, or A misses. Is that clear? Since they are hitting it together, so we have to write it together. And I did not write and. Dot means multiplication. So since they are mutually exclusive events, multiplication and. So this becomes what? Probability of A into probability of B into probability of C dash, or means plus. Again multiplication, probability of A into probability of C into probability of B dash, plus probability of B into probability of C into probability of A dash. Now simply put the values. What are the values? What is probability of A? 4 by 5. Probability of B, 3 by 4. Probability of C dash, 1 by 3. Even though you can cancel, please don't, because I want the LCM to be same. Probability of A again, 4 by 5 into probability of C is going to be 2 by 3 into probability of B dash is going to be 1 by 4, plus probability of B is 3 by 4 into probability of C is 2 by 3, and finally probability of A dash is 1 by 5. So what is the LCM? 5 4s are 20, 20 into 360. So you get 12 by 60 plus 8 by 60, because the LCM, that is the reason why I did not cancel. Similarly, 5 3s are 50, 5 4s are 20 into 60. So this becomes 6 by 60. So the overall value that you get is 60, 20, 26 by 60, or 13 by 30. So this is the probability. What does probability mean? Once again, chance. So if you get 30 chances, then out of 30 chances, there is 13 chance that exactly 2 persons will hit the target. Is that clear? Okay. So you got this to be 13 by 30. So just pause the video for a second and you can just copy. Okay. Next, the second one is at least 2 persons hit the target. Now you need to understand the difference between exactly and at least. Exactly means there has to be 1 person who has to miss. Is that clear? But at least means minimum 2 persons must hit the target. That means minimum 2 means 3 persons also can hit the target. So at least 2 persons hit the target means 2 persons or 3 persons. That means all the 3 also can hit the target. Now probability that 2 persons hit the target we have already calculated, isn't it? What was that? 13 by 30 plus 3 persons means what? A will hit the target, B will hit the target and C will also hit the target. So you get 13 by 30 plus probability of A into probability of B into probability of C. Once again, if you have problems understanding, see, at least 2 persons hit the target means at least 2 persons means either 2 or 3. We have already calculated the probability of 2 persons hitting the target, that is 13 by 30. So in this we have to add the probability that 3 persons will hit the target. So 13 by 30 plus what is probability of A? What is probability of A? It's 4 by 5 into probability of B is 3 by 4 into 2 by 3. So what do you get? 13 by 30 plus 4 3 is 12, 24 by 60. So LCM is 60. So this becomes 30 into 2 is 60. So it's 26 plus 24. How much is that? 50 by 60. So 5 by 6. So this is the required probability. So out of 6 chances, there are 5 chances that at least 2 persons will hit the target. And the third question says none hit the target. None hit the target. So keep in mind that we are shooting together. So none hit the target means what? A will miss and, because together, and B will miss and C will miss. So this can be written as probability of A dash into probability of B dash into probability of C dash, because I have already told you and means multiplication or means plus. So what is probability of A dash? Probability of A dash, we have already calculated, it's 1 by 5. Probability of B dash 1 by 4 into probability of C dash is 1 by 3. So what you get is equal to 1 by 60. That means out of 60 chances, there is 1 chance that none will hit the target. Okay. Now, next what we can do is one very important question. I just read out the question. The probability, question number 3. So these questions are very important because all these questions have come in your ISC. So you can expect a similar type of question. Question number 3, I'll read out the question. The probability of solving a specific problem independently by A and B are, that is, the probability that A will solve the problem is 1 by 2 and the probability that B will solve the problem is 1 by 3. 1 by 3. Is that clear? Now, if both try to solve the problem independently, find the probability that number 1, the problem is solved. The problem is solved. problem is solved. Okay, so I'll just explain the cases. I just want the problem to be solved. So how many cases can we have? Just think about it. I just want the problem to be solved. I don't want to know who solves the problem. I just want the probability that the problem will be solved. They are trying it together. So if the question is to find the probability that the problem will be solved, you have three cases. Three cases mean either one will solve the problem or both will solve the problem. So either one means either A or B. So if A solves the problem, B will not solve the problem, or if B solves the problem, then we have A solves the problem and B does not solve the problem, or B solves the problem, A does not solve the problem, or A also solves the problem, B also solves the problem. So this is the required probability. So I forgot to write one more. Probability that A will not solve the problem is half. 1 minus half is half, and probability that B will not solve the problem will be 2 by 3. So this is how you put the values, you get the answer. Is that clear? But look at this problem. I'll explain it another way also. So this one you all understood. Problem is solved means at least one of them will solve the problem. At least means minimum one. So since there are two people, minimum one means what? Either one or two. And why two cases? Because we don't know which one solves the problem. So the other way, alternate method of doing is, what we do is, we find out the probability that the problem will not be solved. So probability that the problem will not be solved, A dash and B dash. So what is that? Probability of A dash into probability of B dash. Failure, that means both of them could not solve the problem. So probability of A dash is what? 1 by 2, and probability of B dash is 2 by 3. So what do you get? 1 by 3. So if A and B gets 3 chances, then A and B will not be able to solve the problem one time. So how many times? So how many times the problem will be solved? Problem is solved will be equal to 1 minus probability of A dash B dash, that is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3 equal to 2 by 3. Much easier way. You can use either ways, you get the same answer. Is that clear? Now the last part that is given is exactly one of them solve the problem. Exactly one. So either A or B. So it's going to be, if A solves the problem, then B will not be able to solve the problem, or if B solves the problem, then A will not be able to solve the problem. So what is the formula? Probability of A into probability of B dash, or means plus, multiplication, dot means multiplication, probability of B into probability of A dash. So what is probability of A? 1 by 2. Probability of B dash, it's 2 by 3, plus probability of B, it's 1 by 3 into probability of A dash is 1 by 2. So what do you get? 2 by 6 plus 1 by 6, LCM is 6. So 2 plus 1 is 3, that is 1 by 2. So this is the probability that the exactly one will solve the problem. So as you can see, the second part was not a problem, but the first part. The problem is solved means there are two persons. So obviously, what is the probability of the probability that the problem is solved means either one can solve the problem or both can solve the problem. So either one means either A or B or both. Is that clear? This is one way of doing it, the concept wise, and the reverse, much easier. What I did was I found out the probability that the problem will not be solved. That means what is the probability? 1 by 3. If you get 3 chances, then there is one chance that the problem will not be solved. So how many chances are there that the problem will be solved? We don't, and this will include all the cases. That means either A solves it, or B solves it, or A and B both solve it. Is that clear? So this was the end of type 1, where you learned the method to solve questions on success and failure. My dear students, this type is very important, because as you go through your ISC papers, you will see most of the questions come from type 1, that is success and failure. So please go through it. I'll be sending you PDFs also, and if you have a problem, you can WhatsApp me. Thank you so much.